I'm Matt O'Leary here with some exciting news. For the start of the 2023 NFL season, I've partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official NFL partner, to bring new users an exciting new offer. Here's how you can get $200 in bonus bets. All you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up using my promo code Matt O'Leary, make any $5 wager, and you instantly get $200 in bonus bets right into your account. And with that $200 in bonus bets, you can get in on the action, whether you bet against the money line, maybe you're betting against the spread, there's player props, and even the same game parlay. So you don't want to miss out. There's so many different opportunities for you on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. With the NFL season here, now is the perfect time to get in on the action. Make sure to sign up using my code Matt O'Leary and don't miss out. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hello and welcome to the NFL preview for Best Bets. What is going on? I am Matt O'Leary. I am joined, as always, by Newsday's NFL pick columnist, Joe Manniello. Joe, how are you?
Doing good, Matt. How are you?
Doing very good. Excited for another season of picks. And before we get into the picks, we're going to do the full season preview first and playoff predictions, awards, stuff like that. So we'll split them. We'll do the predictions first. We'll start in the AFC. How do we see the AFC playing out this year?
Well, just before we start, I was out of town for the summer. Did anything happen with the Jets? Did they do anything big in the offseason? Were you busy? Were you on social media picking up followers left and right and being a big content creator?
Yeah, it was busy to say the least. There was Aaron Rodgers watch for about a week.
Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. That was fun. Live streaming that and going through and picking that up. But yeah, what an off season, right? For the New York Jets picking up Aaron Rodgers. It should be a lot of fun. Highly anticipated season for really both the New York locals. The Giants had a good off season as well, and I think both teams should have playoff expectations. So it should be a very fun fall in New York.
It's gonna be a great season. Yep, can't wait. All right, so I'll start off with AFC.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so AFC East, I got the Jets winning the division. AFC North, I got the Ravens. AFC South, the Jaguars, and the AFC West, of course, the defending champion Chiefs. So then my wild cards are the Chargers, Bills, and Bengals. So the way I have it is KC is the 1 seed, so they have the bye. Wild card round, I have the Jets beating the Bengals, the Ravens beating the Bills, and the Chargers getting revenge from last year's epic meltdown in Jacksonville. Chargers beating the Jaguars. Divisional round, Chiefs over Chargers, and then the next game was the toughest one for me to pick. Jets and Ravens. I'm really high on the Ravens this year. I think Lamar's going to win MVP. Getting ahead with our picks, but I had to do it. I'm going to take the Jets at home. So Jets, Chiefs, Mahomes, Rodgers. I'm not sure if we ever had that matchup last year. Rodgers was, I think, in that game, or maybe that was 2 years ago. I forget. But yeah, I don't think we ever had Mahomes versus Rodgers. So we'll have it early in the season. But that's my AFC Championship game. A ratings bonanza. Give me the Chiefs over the Jets in the AFC Championship game.
All right. As a Jets fan, I would absolutely sign up for a...
I mean, people who say they have to win a Super Bowl, to me, it doesn't make sense, especially with now that Rodgers saying he wants to play more than 1 year. I mean, if they make the AFC title game, are you really going to say it's a bad season? Come on.
No, absolutely not. And especially if they win their first division since 2002. Also, on top of that, couple home playoff games, I would sign up for that in a second. Absolutely.
Exactly.
All right. So I'll go through the AFC and then we will do the NFC after that. So I'll go in order of my seeds. So we'll do the division winners and the seeding. So as my 1 seed, I have the defending champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. The number 2 seed, I have the Cincinnati Bengals winning the AFC North. In the 3 spot, I have the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills. Maybe surprising that not taking the Jets as the division winner. AFC South and the 4 seed, I am taking the Jacksonville Jaguars. With the Jets getting the first wild card spot with the 5th seed. I think maybe a tiebreaker breaks that one. Both those teams, Jets and Bills, are close. Chargers as the 6th seed and the Ravens as my 7th seed making the playoffs. So wild card round, the 4 and the 5, the Jaguars host the Jets. I have the Jets beating the Jaguars in the wild card. I have the Chargers upsetting the Bills and them advancing, and I have the Bengals over the Ravens in the wild card round. So setting up a divisional round matchup of the Bengals and the Jets. I have the Bengals beating the Jets and the Chiefs over the Chargers, setting up yet another Bengals and Chiefs AFC title game, and I will take the Bengals and Joe Burrow to get back to the Super Bowl.
In Arrowhead?
In Arrowhead.
Not Burrowhead.
Not Burrowhead.
We
No,
have the same,
it has changed. It is back to Arrowhead, no longer Burrowhead. But
we have the same 7 teams in the playoffs, so that's good.
Yeah, that's funny. You know, you were very high on Miami last year. I think they are just on the outside looking in. You mentioned Pittsburgh as well. That's another team that I like. But it just goes to show AFC is deep. They're like 9
really
deep there. Yeah. So how about NFC? We'll do NFC next.
You want me? I'll go first or you go?
Yeah, you go.
I'll do the same thing you did. I'll go by the seeding. So my NFC picks are out there. It's going to surprise some people. But my one seed team I'm the most excited about this year, the Detroit Lions. I think they're going to be, people are going to be, wow, these are the Lions are this good. I think they have a ton of offensive playmakers. My one seed. 2 seed is another team I think had a great offseason, and they got a lot of young playmakers as well. The Seattle Seahawks winning the NFC West. So the Lions, NFC North champions at 1, Seattle, NFC West at 2, and then the 3 seeds, I mentioned it in our pick segment. I like the Giants to win the NFC East. I know that's surprising to people, but I love their offseason. I'm a big fan of Brian Dable, and I think they're going to be really, really good this year. So they're my 3 seeds. And then 4 seeds is another team I'm excited about. In the worst division in the NFL probably, or second worst, the Atlanta Falcons. I think Bijan Robinson, rookie running back, is going to be great, and I think the Falcons will get to 9-8 or 10-7, which will be enough to win that division. So my 4 division winners are Detroit, Seattle, Giants, and Falcons, and then the 3 wild card teams, 2 heavyweights, Eagles at the 5 seed, and the 49ers at the 6 seed, and then my surprise team of the year as well is the Chicago Bears. That's the 7th seed. I'm a big fan of Justin Fields. I think they had a great offseason, and I think they sneak in as the last wild card. So that sets up the wild card round. I have Seattle over the Bears in the 2-7 matchup, and then we have a 3-6 matchup of one of the best playoff rivalries in not recent years, but Giants 49ers have had some great games. I got the Giants beating the 49ers. I also have been beating them 49ers earlier in the season in week 3, so I'm all in on this Giants team, as you can see. And then I have the rare matchup, or maybe not that rare in today's NFL, where the 5 seed is going to be a big favorite on the road. Eagles over the Falcons, probably be a big favorite, depending how the season goes. But, Eagles are so talented. And then the divisional roundup, that sets up, I have the Lions over the Eagles, and then Seattle over the Giants, and then a wacky NFC Championship game. It sounds wacky now, but I don't think it'll be that wacky as the season goes on. Give me the Lions, the Detroit Lions over the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. I know it's a popular pick, but I was high on them at the end of last year, and I remember I picked them to beat the Giants in the last season, and you were on the Giants. But I just love what they've done. They have so many playmakers, and like the NFC, unlike the AFC, where it's so stacked. You know one of those 7 teams are going to make it. Like the NFC to me is completely wide open. I know everyone loves the Eagles and Niners, but I don't know. I think they take a step down this year. It's still going to be good teams, obviously, very good teams, but I don't think they're a lock to make the Super Bowl, let alone the championship game. So I have Lions over Seahawks in the championship game. Take it away.
Okay. Wow. Our NFC is going to look very different. Our AFC was very, very similar. NFC is going to look very, very different. I think the Eagles are still the 1 seed. I love Philadelphia this year. I don't think they have that Super Bowl loss hangover, at least in the regular season. I have the 49ers as the 2 seed. To me, it doesn't matter who they have playing quarterback. I just think they are that well coached and that good defensively. If with Christian McCaffrey and all those playmakers, they'll still be able to score. I have the Saints winning the NFC South as the 3 seed. Lions winning the NFC North, but as a 4 seed. I'm not as high on the Lions as Joe is, but I still have them winning the division. Wild cards, I have the Cowboys as the 5 seed. I have the Giants as the 6 seed, and the Minnesota Vikings as the 7 seed. as the last team getting in. So that would set up a Cowboys and Lions first round matchup of the 4 and the 5, and I have the Cowboys over the Lions. I also have the New Orleans Saints beating the Giants in the wild card round, and the 49ers over the Minnesota Vikings, which sets up a pretty interesting divisional round matchup of the Cowboys and the Eagles. And this is where I think the Eagles go one and done in the playoffs. So I will say the Cowboys get to the NFC Championship game finally.
Wow.
That's my hot take, I guess, in all of this, is Cowboys go to the NFC Championship game. I'll take the 49ers over the Saints. I just think they're the much better team. And I will take the 49ers over the Cowboys to get to the Super Bowl, setting up a Bengals and 49ers Super Bowl for me. So you had a Chiefs and Lions Super Bowl. So want to talk through that and see where you
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to pick the Lions, but, I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think, we picked against them so many times here on the segment. Not that we don't believe in them, but it's just that, with the spreads and stuff like that, it's always inflated spreads. But, last year we all picked the Eagles to win that game, and that was a toss-up game. But Mahomes is Mahomes, and I feel like when you're that great, like you can see, like even I think after the last year they were talking about winning again. So like I feel like they're laser focused on repeating, trying to be the first team to do it since the Patriots in 19 years, and become the NFL's next dynasty. And we have a two-page feature in today's Thursday's Newsday's NFL preview section on the Chiefs being the next dynasty. So go check it out. But I think the Chiefs just get it done. Chiefs over Lions, the high-scoring game, but I'm not going to give a score. It's too far away for that. But, I like the Chiefs to repeat. I think this is the year they become the NFL's next dynasty.
There you go. Hard to pick against the Chiefs. So I see where you're coming from on this one. Lions is definitely going to be the surprising pick there, but I think there'll be a fun team for sure this year. For mine, I'm taking the Bengals over the 49ers. I just think with Joe Burrow, I think is going to go even better. To me, he's the second best quarterback in the league. I think he cements that this year. I don't think there's going to be a debate with him and Allen anymore. I think that this is like their last push before they have to start paying some of their offensive weapons. So I think they're going all in offensively. They should be good defensively. They have a pretty good pass rush as well. And for me, the Niners again getting to the Super Bowl and losing, that happened to them in 2019. I just don't think Purdy's the quarterback to go toe to toe with the Bengals in that one. They are going to be good offensively, more so because of the system and because of their weapons like McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and all those guys. But I like the Bengals to get back to the Super Bowl. Two teams that have recently or semi-recently made it to the Super Bowl and lost. But I think the Bengals go back and Joe Burrow gets his first ring.
What if I told you the 49ers quarterback in the Super Bowl wouldn't be Brock Purdy? Sam Darnold.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't know. That would be a really tough pill for Jet fans to swallow if they are not in the Super Bowl and then Sam Darnold.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, my God. Amazing. So, all right, let's do some awards. We'll do MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Coach of the Year. So you mentioned it, but why is Lamar Jackson your MVP?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson here. I think he's happy now. He's got his contract, all that situations, all that dramas in the past. The MVP, you can't go wrong with Mahomes or Burrow or so many other guys. But I'm going to go with Lamar because he said something in the offseason that really made me do a double take. He said he wants to throw for 6,000 yards. He's such a big running quarterback, but they added some weapons in the offseason, the Odell Beckham Jr. and the speedy receiver out of Boston College, Dave Flowers, and J.K. Dobbins is back, the running back. So I think the Ravens offense is going to be the most exciting offense in the league. So I think Lamar's going to have huge numbers passing and rushing, and he's going to look like the Lamar that won the MVP a few years ago. So Lamar Jackson, it's 16-1, so it's a good number too. So Lamar Jackson's my MVP pick.
There we go.
You want to go yours? We'll go back and forth?
Yeah, we'll go back and forth. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts for mine. I thought he had a absolutely stellar season last year. And that team, I think, is going to be just as good. It's a little bit chalky. It's not quite as chalk as a Mahomes or a Burrow, but I think Hurts. The Eagles, I think, are the best roster in the league, and to me, they're far and away the best team in the NFC. And I think he just puts up monster numbers, and that team has a stellar 14-win regular season, and he's just gonna take his game to yet another level. And Sirianni's the perfect coordinator. He's the head coach, but they run the perfect offense, and he sets up that offense perfectly for Jalen. So I'm gonna take him for my MVP.
Yeah, good pick.
Offensive player of the year. Who do we like?
Yeah, to me, it's going to be a receiver. My first thought was Justin Jefferson or maybe Tyreek Hill, but I'm going to go with the local guy. I think he's going to have a huge year. Your boy, Garrett Wilson. He had big numbers last year, offensive rookie of the year, and that was with Zach Wilson and Mike White and Joe Flacco throwing to him. I think Rodgers, again, giving props to the NFL preview section. We have a story in there saying how, he's the next Devontae Adams, and Rodgers says he's this number 17 reminds me a lot of the other number 17. So I think him and Rodgers and Wilson have great chemistry already. You saw it in that preseason game, that short amount of time. You saw it in the Hard Knocks. I think he's going to have a huge year, huge numbers, over 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, just unbelievable numbers. And Garrett Wilson's my pick for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I love that one, but I agree. And I obviously Jeff fan, I try to put the bias aside, but you said it. It's not crazy to predict. I think he's going to put up close to 1,500 yards this year. Just really, really what a connection that's going to be. Anyway, for mine, I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. I kind of talked about it a little bit with the 49ers. I have them going to the Super Bowl, but I really think their run game carries this team. They are built built for running the football and playing really, really great defense. And I think, McCaffrey is just such a weapon in both the rushing game and the receiving game. He might put up close to 1,000 receiving yards as well. When Purdy's under pressure, he's just going to dump it off to McCaffrey. And the thing that always scares me with Christian is the health and injuries. But if he stays healthy and plays a full 17-game season, I think he just puts up absolutely monster numbers and carries them to a Super Bowl appearance.
Sure.
Defensive player of the year. Who do you like?
Yeah, I think we both agree on this one, so I'll just say a couple things. You can say some stuff too. Micah Parsons, Cowboys. I think he's probably the best pass rusher, right there with Nick Bosa and J.J. Watt. Maybe all three of them are tied, but I'm gonna go with Parsons. I think he's gonna focus solely on getting after the quarterback this year, and he's a beast. So there's not much more to say. I think he's gonna have a huge year, maybe close to 20 sacks.
Yeah, I'm with you. He, as a rookie, 13 sacks. Year two, 13 and a half sacks. All pro. He was second in Defensive Player of the Year each of the last 2 years. I think this is finally the year that he gets it. I agree with you. I think this Cowboys defense is going to be really fun, but led by him. It already is, but I think he gives you close to 20 sacks. I was a little bit concerned with Bosa before he finally got the contract on the eve of the season, and T.J. Watt I think would also be a potentially good pick for this, but this year three, he's 24 now. He's kind of maturing. Pass rushers takes a little bit of time usually before they pop onto the scene, so I think there's room for him to get even better somehow. So yeah, I'm with you. I think he gets close to 20 sacks.
Imagine if the 49ers took him instead of Trey Lance.
Oh my God, yeah, where they would be.
Bosa and Parsons. Oh my God,
unbelievable. So, Coach of the Year, who do you like?
Hey, Coach of the Year. I mean, it's kind of hard to predict, but I'm all on the Lions. If they get the 1 seed like I predict, then how can you not give it to Dan Campbell? It's funny. A few years ago, I think it was 3 years ago, his first news conference as coach, he had this ridiculous thing about breaking kneecaps. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought, come on, this guy can't be serious. But watching him develop and mature the last couple of years, I mean, I don't know if mature is the right word, but grow into his role as a coach. No team seems to play for the coach like the Lions do. Dan Campbell, I mean, he totally has their respect, and I think the Lions will have a huge year. So if the Lions win the division, make the playoffs, and have a huge year, how can you not give it to Dan Campbell for a franchise that's been so bad? So Dan Campbell is my Coach of the Year.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I like Dan Campbell a lot. I think he's going to be a favorite to win that award. I'm going to go with the local and Robert Saleh. So back-to-back years that a New York coach wins the Coach of the Year award. I think the Jets making the playoffs, ending the longest active playoff streak in all the 4 major sports: baseball, hockey, football, basketball, NBA. All those. The Jets have the longest active playoff drought. Now, the one thing that may go against him is that, the adding of Aaron Rodgers and just
I was going to say
roster.
that. He's not going to get the credit.
Yeah, I think he should, though, because I think the defense has a chance to be the number one defense in the league, and he was such a big part. He was such a big part of that turnaround on the defense. They're going from one of the worst in the league in 2021 to one of the best in 2022, and they were great last year. But I think that there's a chance that they get even better this year. So I think he should get the credit for it. But you bring up a good point that it may go more for like, oh, this roster's finally so good. Like it's not as much on the coach, but I think he is deserving of the credit and is a little bit underrated at times.
Yeah, you had them winning the same record as the Bills, right? Just losing the tiebreaker.
Yeah, exactly. I have both teams 11-6.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I could get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. So do a quick recap on both of these before we get out of here. So we'll do AFC first, as we did. Joe's seeds 1 through 7, or the Chiefs as the 1 seed, Jets as the 2, Ravens the 3, Jaguars the 4, with the Chargers, Bills, and Bengals as the wild cards. His AFC title game matchup is the Chiefs and the Jets, with the Chiefs advancing to the Super Bowl. Mine for the AFC, I have the Chiefs as the 1, Bengals 2, Bills 3, Jaguars 4, with the Jets, Chargers, and Ravens as the wild card teams, and I have the Bengals over the Chiefs in the AFC championship game. For NFC for Joe, we got the Lions as the 1, Seahawks the 2, Giants and Falcons round out the division winners, with the Eagles, Niners, and surprise Bears making the playoffs. NFC title game for Joe is the Lions over the Seahawks. Mine for the NFC, I have the Eagles, Niners, Saints, and Lions as the division winners in order, with the Cowboys, Giants, and Vikings as the wild card teams. I have the 49ers over the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game. Setting up a Super Bowl matchup, I have the Bengals over the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Joe is going Chiefs over Lions. MVP, Jalen Hurts for me, Lamar Jackson for Joe. Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey for me. Joe is going Garrett Wilson. Both agree on Defensive Player of the Year with Micah Parsons. And Coach of the Year, Dan Campbell for Joe, and Robert Saleh for myself. Joe, appreciate you joining me, as always, to preview what should be a very fun 2023 NFL season.
All right, Matt. Great job. It's going to be a great season.